Welcome back to Vlogmas Day 4. Today I will be talking about 26 books I have to read in 2026. Okay, this is my TBR for 2026. I'm obviously hoping to read a lot more than the books on here, but I thought I'm going to hold myself to this. I've put quite a few books in that are the first in a series, so I'm hoping to read more than 26, but we'll see because I never really stick to the number I say. We're going to do this. I'm going to make my TBR. I've got 5 of these books already. I probably should have put more books I actually own, but some of them are just highly anticipated reads of mine. So let's get right into it. The first book I do not own. It is the first book in a series, and it is my most anticipated read ever. I feel like it's going to be my favorite book ever, and I've not even read it, so that's really funny. But that is Binding 13. I cannot wait to read the Boys of Tom series, and they are huge books as well. So yeah, I felt like putting on more books from one series was cheating, so I just put the first. Not that it even matters, but I'm just doing this for myself. So yeah, that is the first book of the series. I'm so excited to read it. Next, another very popular book that I am also very excited to read is Powerless. I need to read that trilogy. I'm very excited to get into that. Next, this one might seem a bit random. It's a book called Turtles All the Way Down. A very long time ago, I searched about books that have OCD themes in it, as in where it talks about OCD. So if it doesn't, blame the internet, okay? But it came up multiple times saying it did, and I saw people saying it did. And as somebody who does suffer from OCD, I feel like that would be just quite comforting to read. I would like to read it. So that's that reason. Okay, next we have, I want to say this is a sci-fi book, right? I think pretty sure it is. Could be wrong, so don't hold me to that, but I think it is. It's called Scythe. I think it's in a trilogy, but honestly, I do know a bit about the books, but I just love the covers, and I've just heard a lot about them, and it makes me really want to read them, and there's not much other reason to it. The 5th book I have to read in 2026, I do own. I've owned for a while, and this is also a read that I've been wanting to read for so long, but I've just not got around to it, and I don't know why. And it's Girl in Pieces. I feel like Kathleen Glasgow could end up being one of my favorite authors, if not my favorite. I just love this kind of genre of books, and I do have the Glass Girl as well, so hopefully I can get into that next year, but I have not put that on this list because I've put this on the list because I feel like I should read this first. Next up on the list is Flawless, which is the first book from the Chestnut Springs series. I'd say I'm really excited, but like obviously, or why would any of these books be on here? Why am I holding this list? I'm gonna have to hold it. It's not like my Breaking Bad pajama top very much. Next is Normal People by Sally Rooney, and that is because, well, I want to read the book anyway. I've always wanted to read the book, but I've noticed for a while now that there has been, sorry, I've got an itchy shoulder. They have made a show out of it. I don't think it's a Netflix original, but it is on Netflix. That's where I've seen it popping up, and I'm obviously interested in watching it, but I like to read things before watching them if I am interested in reading them in the first place, because I just feel like I can't watch something and then read it, if that makes sense, because I'm a huge film lover, and I just feel like I don't know. I don't know how to describe it, but I am looking forward. Obviously, I'm looking forward to it. Why did I say that? Normal People, I would love to watch it, so I definitely should get around to that soon. The next book, I haven't really heard anyone talk about it. I think I read reviews online. I can't remember, but I just saw it on Pinterest. Sometimes I find books on Pinterest. This one is Thin Girls by Anne Clark. I recall this being about a girl with anorexia, I believe. Sorry if that is wrong, don't hold me to that. Just thought, yeah, why not? I quite like reading about books where it holds mental health themes or things like that. So like any Kathleen Glasgow book, really. Turtles All the Way Down, I assume it will if it has OCD themes in it. And then this one as well with an eating disorder and everything. I like reading stuff like that, as in, I'm not sure how to word it. I don't even know what I mean. I just really like that kind of genre, I guess, because it's more real. You know what I mean? So I just really like reading stuff like that because it's just like real. Next is a classic, not an actual classic, but like a classic, as in like I remember hearing about this book for a while. The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I also really love the special edition of this book, and I nearly bought it once, but I've never read the book, so, and I was going to buy it. Actually, the reason I didn't buy it wasn't because of that, it was because of money. I feel like everyone's read this book as well. Like, I feel like I'm the only person that's not read it, and I have had an interest in reading in it for a long time. I'm just bad at getting around to things. I'll explain in a few books' time why I haven't gotten to so many books, so you'll know then. But yeah, number 11 is A Court of Thorns and Roses. Apart from Binding 13, I think this is also my most anticipated series. I can't wait to read. And the thing is, I felt like when I first started reading, I thought my shelves would just be rom-coms or like the mental health theme. I don't know what kind of theme that is, but the one I was just on about. I thought it would just mainly be those, especially rom-coms. And as for fantasy, I thought that was like my genre I would not collect. I was just like, oh, I don't think that's my thing for reading. And I have a whole fantasy shelf of things to read. I just heard things about these books and I was absolutely sold. This is the first one in the series. I'm sure you've heard of it. I'm sure I don't need to explain anything about it. This is also one of the ones I really need to get around to just because I have been wanting to read it for so long and I haven't. And you'll find out why next, because number 12.
Number 12, cock.
Number 12 is The Fourth Closet. This is a Five Nights at Freddy's book. I have read the first two. I read the first one back in 2020. 5 stars. That was actually a phenomenal book. I love this. I have liked this game franchise since it came out back in like 2014, and I was like, how old was I in 2014? I think I was like 10. I loved it. I was so obsessed with it, and I still love it to this day. It's one of my favorite games ever. And this is the last book I have left out of this trilogy, because then there are like the short stories, which I do own some of those, but I'm reading this first and then reading those. Second book was also really good, but I didn't think it was as good as the first one. And then I went to read this, but I thought, you know what, I'll have a bit of a break. I just binged the second one. Then I went to a book, which I don't think I'm going to reveal the name because I think I want to make a video of me trying to read it, seeing if I can finish a DNF book, but a very, very popular book that I've been wanting to read in, honestly, since it came out, since I used to just go in randomly in Waterstones and see it and think, wow, that looks really cool and sounds really good. I want to read that. And then I actually started properly buying books last year for myself. I decided to read it. And I don't think I've ever seen anybody that doesn't like this book. And it's not that I don't like it, but I just can't. Like, I'm just not. I don't know how to word it, but the characters seem to act a lot younger than they are. And that makes sense for some of the characters, but then others just, I just feel like when I'm reading it, I would have enjoyed it and ate it up under the age of 18. So when I was reading it at the age of like 20 last year, it just wasn't really gelling with me anymore. And that makes me so sad. I feel like if I was like 16 or 17 reading that or under, I would have loved it. But now that I'm older, I feel like, I'm not even old. I'm 21, by the way. Not old, not that far off. I just wish I read it earlier because I think I would have liked it more. I'm not going to say what it is because I want to do a video on it, and I know everyone's going to be really shocked because I've never heard any bad things about this book, but it's just how I feel about it. Okay. Next is The Serpent and the Wings of Night. I just really, really want to read it. Some of these books I don't have that much to say because obviously I've not read them, so what would I say about them? Other than obviously I really want to read them, that's why they're on this list. And that is one of those books. That is a fantasy book. I'm pretty sure a fantasy book I would really like to get around to, as well as A Court of Thorns and Roses very soon. Another one to get to really soon, Six of Crows. Like, I have a feeling I'm just going to love these so much. I'm going to end up loving fantasy so much because I'm a rom-com girly at heart. Rom-com is my favourite genre of anything. I think if you looked at my movie wall, you would not believe me, but it is, I promise. But I feel there's just so many fantasy books that I've heard about and I'm so excited to read. Next is Yours Truly by Abby Jimenez. I think, is this the first book in the, is it part of Your World series or is that, I can't remember. But I read Just for the Summer. I read that last summer. 5 stars. New favourite book. That was the best book I've ever read. It was just like, I loved it so much. I have a huge attachment to it. I love it so bad. I can't wait to reread it. I could honestly reread it again now and be just as happy as I was reading it for the first time. And then I was like, well, if I've enjoyed this and it's kind of an interconnected series, but not a proper series, I guess Abby Jimenez could become one of, if not my favourite author. I know you can't judge off of one book, but like, I loved it so bad it's untrue. And 2 books I've read since, I have not liked it also. Not by her, I just mean in general. So I'm like, well, Abby Jimenez seems like a way to go for me. So I'd like to, I think Just for the Summer is like the 3rd in this interconnected series, so it doesn't necessarily matter where you read them because it's not a proper together series, but a lot of people seem to read them in their order. So I should go back to the beginning. If this isn't the beginning, then oops, pretend the beginning book is here. But yeah, this, I should do a reading vlog on that because there's just no way I'm not gonna like it. I don't want to jinx myself, but like Just for the Summer was incredible. I did not think I would like dual POV, and I absolutely ate up that dual POV. I had such a good time. If anybody asked for a book recommendation, I'd be like, yeah, that one. Absolutely. Number 16 is The Virgin Suicides. Because there is a film of this as well that I've always wanted to watch, but I thought actually I do want to read it, so I should read it first. So there you go. Like, I am genuinely interested in reading it as well, but I do really want to watch it. But like I said earlier, I like to read things that I want to actually read before watching them, because then I just feel like I can't read them afterwards. Does anybody else feel like that? Please let me know. Next, I don't know how I'll feel about this genre. Because it sounds cool. Well, actually, it doesn't. Like, just the words dark romance sound cool, but then, like, when people describe it, I'm like, that sounds horrible. But it is Haunting Adeline. I just like the covers and I feel like I'm gonna like them, but I don't know too much about it. And I'm like a little scared, but I do want to try and delve into every genre I can and go out of my comfort zone. But I don't know too much about what actually dark romance means. So I feel like I'm gonna come out of it scared and traumatized. So if you've read it, let me know. Next up, we have Verity. Everybody, again, I've never heard a bad word about this. Everybody that's read it has said it's really good. I have read a Colleen Hoover book before. I have read It Ends With Us, of course. I really enjoyed it personally. I really liked it. So, and Verity is a really popular one because I feel like everybody's kind of shitting on It Ends With Us now, but Verity still stands in its place. So that's definitely one for me to get around to. Next, we have Magnolia Parks. I do have the whole series of this as well. If you wonder why I have whole series of things, it's just because I got them in like when Amazon do a day where everything's like loads of money off. Both of these series I got because they were loads of money off. So I was like, why not get them? Because I really want to read them. And it's cheaper than buying one book at a time. It's really cheaper to just buy a whole set. So I have the whole set of Magnolia Parks. And then I heard somebody kind of describe like, oh, there's a lot of cheating in it. And I was like, ooh, like I don't want to read that. I'm not going to be interested in that. But I was so excited to read these. And then I was looking at the back of the cover, literally just thinking to myself, it's giving Gossip Girl. And then a lot of people started to say, if you love Gossip Girl, you will love this. And I was like, oh yeah, I love Gossip Girl so bad. So why would I not love these books? You know what I mean? So I feel like that doesn't really like I heard ooh cheating, but then I like Gossip Girl, so I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even think of it that way. I just immediately shut it down. So now I'm looking more forward to it, that it has Gossip Girl-esque vibes. Next, I want to say something. If I'm wrong about any of them, I've not read them and I've not read up on them in a while because I've been on a book buying ban, so I can read them off my shelf instead of buying more books. It's a book called Bunny. It just sounded interesting. That's all. I just want to get round to that one. That's been on the list for a while. The Bell Jar. This is definitely a shorter book as well, which helps because some of these books are huge, or at least to me. Like Binding 13 is huge, Haunting Adeline's huge. I think this is pretty big when you think about it, but at the same time, it doesn't feel like it as well because it's like long, so that's why it's. I don't know. I was gonna say controversially, but it's not controversial, but it's just like you either love it or you hate it from what I've heard. And that is My Year of Rest and Relaxation. I'm very excited to read it, obviously, but I've heard a lot of people be like, I hate this. Or I feel like they said they didn't like the main character, or like I love this is great. I see why it's like this. Like there's no in between, it's just like love or hate, like get it or get it but still hate it, you know? So that's gonna be an interesting one. I feel like I should try and incorporate that into a vlog as well. We're back to a rom-com, Better Than the Movies by Lynn Painter. What a title, to be honest. That's what I like. I love the cover, I'm gonna be so honest. But then I've heard a lot of good things about it, and Lynn Painter, because I feel like Lynn Painter, for somebody who loves rom-com, sounds like a good author to kind of gear towards. So I'm gonna give that a go. Next, I do have a bit of an explanation for this one. We Were Liars. I saw this book the other year on Pinterest, and then I've been wanting to get it. I've eyed it up in the shops ever since, but I'm on a book buying ban, and then they've made a whole series out of it, and I want to watch the series because I've seen the trailer a million times because it keeps advertising on Amazon Prime, and it looks really good. And so it makes me want to read the book even more than I already did just by liking the sounds of it. So now I have to read it so I can watch We Were Liars and then let you guys know. Hopefully I could read it and then watch the show straight after and let you know the differences and my opinions. Remind me of that because I'll probably forget to do that. This is one for next Halloween. I wanted to read this Halloween, but fell into a massive slump because of that. A few books I read just were not gelling with me in a row as well, so it just wasn't a nice time, to be honest. This is The Silent Patient because that sounds so cool, as in like, is it in a book concept? I've always liked, I mean, I think the title just sounds cool for starters. A title or a cover can pull me in, but then actually finding it, like reading the back of it, seeing what it's about, it sounds really good, and I'm insanely excited for that. But I think I'll save it for our Halloween video, well, like an October video next year, because I can get through all these first, I guess, and then read that like on season with Halloween. And the last book, which I have a special edition of, and I've not read it, but it is adorable. And I know I've heard it is very depressing, and there is a second book too, and I'm ready. And it is If You Had Beer With Me, because tell me that isn't the best special edition you've ever seen. Need to get to this. Again, this is also one I've heard for years. That Heart Lollipop, been seeing that for years. So really excited to get around to that. Well, actually, should I be excited? Probably not, but I am. That was 26 books that I'm going to hopefully read in 2026. I guess we'll review this time next year whether I read all of them or not, whether I like them. I think that would be a good Vlogmas idea for next year, to review this video and be like, oh, I didn't like this one, I liked this one, didn't read this one. Hopefully I did, but you know.
Obscure alert, this is me a few days later, because yes, I am pre-filming a lot of these Vlogmas videos because that's how I'll get through it. I'm ill and I've had a shower and I'm making sure my hair is wavy for work tomorrow, so that's why I look like this, in case you were wondering. Yes, I still slay when I'm ill. No, but I'm actually popping in because today I was editing Vlogmas 3 and 4. Vlogmas day 3 is muted the entire time. The mic was switched off, so there was no sound, because it's a Bluetooth. So we're just going to still call this Vlogmas Day 4, as you've probably noticed in the thumbnail, and we're just going to skip past 3. We're not going to make up for it, we're just going to skip past and carry on, because I'm now up to date with Vlogmas, because today is day 4, as I'm filming this clip and uploading this, because I was a bit behind. So now we're up to date. A Spotify Wrap video coming tomorrow.
Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys tomorrow for another Vlogmas video.